Disgusting. This looks too fair to me. Don't really care about a bunch of Saga targets. If I had a second and third land, it could like make sure I could turn 2, hold up Metallic Rebuke, maybe. Is not much better. Guess we'll roll with it. Okay. So now we can turn to Emery plus Metallic Rebuke. What does it say? If Control Freak wants to weigh in, I don't know. I think Jite would be like tier 2 or 1.5 at best. It wouldn't work current modern. It's tough to say. I think there's a lot of good stuff to be said about Jite, and definitely parts of the card that are underwhelming. So we got an Astrolabe in the yard. Opponent chooses not to dredge life from the loam. Just going to cast a life from the loam. Sure. So we can Emery back Mox Amber and have the 1 ring this turn. Okay, deck's great. Deck's amazing. Should all stop what you're doing and register this. Sure. Simeon's Spirit Guide, Lava Dart. Yeah, Emery dead AF. All right, what do we got? I feel like I'm not in danger of dying this turn. He said optimistically. So I can make a construct. Yeah, I can Emery and Imri and make a construct and have Metallic Rebuke up. Because all I care about here is making a couple constructs and untapping with Shadow Spear. Assuming I'm not dead, which I very well could be. Gari Grave Troll. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm countering this Metallic Rebuke. Or countering this life from the loam. All right, am I dead? I am, in fact, dead. Fair enough. All right. So we got Grafdigger's Cage to get Force and Negation. Am I bringing in Fire Magic? It does kill some Arclights. Blood Moon's pretty bad. Gilded Goose, probably kind of mid. Trim a One Ring. Trim an Oko. Fight for Talent seems important. Well, I have Force and Negation and Metallic Rebukes. Like, do I want Might as well? Plus Grafdigger's Cage. But could just be better than Aether Spell Bomb. That's reasonable. Most unfair deck I can think of with Uro is likely some deck with main deck Vexing Bubbles and Consigns that are trying to scam Uros into play when it doesn't have him attacking till like turn 5. It seems kind of mid. Like if your turn 4 play is, this hand's sick. If your turn 4 play is scam and Uro instead of like win the game, it's probably a little lackluster. All right, so we get to go Snow-Covered Island, Astrolabe, Mishra's Bauble, Mox Opal, Imri, flip over Grafdigger's Cage, and we've got turn 2 Oko available. An opponent plays a tap land. Wait, am I just playing into Meltdown if I do that? I think that I am. I think I'm pivoting here and just not playing into Meltdown. I miss out on a point of damage, but I think that's fine. All right, so Astrolabe. We will Soul Guide Lantern. Faithless Looting. Go ahead and get back Grafdigger's Cage. Doing this because I have Force and Negation now. And we'll make a food. Attack in. Upkeep Dart. Sure. Ancient Grudge in the yard and Force of Vigor. Second Force of Vigor. Anything I want to change up. Does Blood Moon have any text in this matchup? Stops him from hard casting Life from the Loam, and that's like it. So probably not. I'm just going to run it back. Yeah, it does seem bad. I just like to double check and see, like, is there anything I'm missing with this card? Got it. Try to save this Force of Negation for a pretty good. Save this Force of Negation for a artist talent on 2. Show me the talent. Show me the talent. So Mishra's Bauble. Cast. Shocking Breeding Pool. 1 ring. Sure. Keep the new one. Tameo, go. I don't even care if I lose this game. This is sick. Like, go ahead, melt down me out of existence. For someone who is really dumb, me, why do we play Astrolabe in this deck? You get the redraw off of it. It's like a free artifact towards Mox Opal and stuff, but it lets you play splash cards like Blood Moon with like no penalty whatsoever. So being able to play an entirely Simic mana base and like protect yourself from Blood Moons while simultaneously enabling it is super, super dope. Plus, it's just a consistency card. Like getting to play Astrolabe early, get the redraw, set up some more broken stuff. I was guesting on a I know. Again. I was on the Battle Chads podcast again. So I'm going to drop the link to that in chat. Ironic since we're playing against Chad Magic. But video looks like this. It's on the Battle Chads podcast site. This one. And we talked about like some of the new Ninja Turtles cards. We talked about is that a Gemstone Caverns? We talked about some of the Ninja Turtles cards. We talked about the direction of Universes Beyond sets. Bunch of cool stuff. I'm going to try to get the goose down. I really want to set up turn 2 Blood Moon if I can. Which maybe means I should have gotten a forest. Cavern of Souls. So that does not let me Blood Moon this turn. So what's my play? Guess I could just Imri. If I Imri, I tap off of Metallic Rebuke. But they've got Cavern anyway. We do hit a Mox Amber. Hold up. So you're saying we have a chance? There's a Saga. So let's get back Amber. Play Amber. Do have to lose my Urza's Saga. I can blue. How do I do this? I go colorless, blue, red, Blood Moon, Tameo, go. And hopefully they just won't be able to play much for a while. I got the frowny face. It's like, this is how I felt against you last time. I'll probably be in Dallas for the SCG event in September this year. If you plan on doing that, be nice to meet. If I can't catch across the pond. Yeah, I don't know for sure on SCG Dallas yet. It's going to be a minute before I'm sure on that one. Like I got to get through figuring out Amsterdam before I decide on anything else. So Soul Guide's pretty dead. Maybe trim a Tameo. Trim a few of these like slightly more expensive cards. What do I think of Into the Flood Maw here? It might be necessary to fight over like a Karn. Karn definitely seems like the kind of card I could lose to very easily. 2-pair. So we're very dependent on finding something unfair. They're going to find something unfair faster. I think I do want to lead on Gilded Goose in case I just oops into a Blood Moon on turn 2. Snow-covered forest. The Goosen is loosen. It's Kozilek's command. All right. If you don't know this trick, it's pretty sick. Not going to do it right here, but you can use Arkham's Astrolabe since you have to have snow-covered mana to cast it. You can use Astrolabe off of like some non-snow land to cast another Astrolabe. Maybe I am doing that. Do I have enough artifacts to hold up Metallic Rebuke still? I do. So I don't have enough to do anything with that. This goose is on fire. This goose is on fire. Now I do not have Metallic Rebuke up. Now we're back to Metallic Rebuke up. Ooh. Ooh, piece of candy. Do I have any interest in Blood Mooning here? I can go Saga, Forest, Astrolabe. But if I do that, I can't hold up Blood Moon, or I can't hold up Metallic Rebuke. But I guess I'm like not holding up Metallic Rebuke anyway. But I'm a little terrified of Kozilek's command into Devourer here. So I think I'm just not going to do anything. I can get like a Mox Opal to set up Blood Moon next turn. No. No, you can't pay for that with an Eye of Ugin. Get out of here. Well, maybe nothing mattered. So if I make a construct, 3, get Opal. I can't. Man, but like I need a construct to end this game. Oh no. Oh no. Um I gotta double my clock here. Okay. Oh no. uh Because how do you beat the second one? Like, I don't. Come on. Emery off the top. Sticks around, right? Yeah. All right, one ring. Need an Oko or an Emery. We're going to elk up Astrolabe, Shadow Spear onto it, Goose. And we'll bobble just in case we draw into a Metallic Rebuke. Stay back. Whew. Whoever said Eldrazi was the broken deck and no ban list. Blood Moon is the broken deck and no ban list. Ape Strong. Who would win, 2 apes or an army of elks? Tell me, this is why you got into Magic the Gathering in the first place, wasn't it? Except instead of like goblins versus elves versus Kithkin, it's apes versus elk. Monkey versus elk dual deck. It would sell out so quickly. Opponent said, good luck, have fun, and I almost accidentally typed you as Welk. Yeah, GG's for sure. It was a sweet match. I got crushed the first time around on Shadow. You got crushed this time. Hopefully I don't run into you again today. That game showed me I'm so glad the One Ring is no longer legal in Modern. The One Ring is a stupid, messed up Magic card. And the fact, like, okay, I did a video recording and I don't think I ever got around to posting it on YouTube. I might at some point, but I can kind of share it here. I did a countdown video of my choice for the 10 most impactful cards in the history of Modern. And the One Ring was number 1 on the list by a mile, not even close. Just because the card, like, drug tier 7 decks up, kicking and screaming from the abyss. Because it just, like, it didn't matter what 60 or what 56 cards you were playing around it. Playing the One Ring was enough to win games. And that just shouldn't be the case. I wish I had enough to get this Blood Moon online right here, but sadly I cannot. It's when Boros picked up 4 copies and just couldn't lose. Yeah, but it was so much worse than that. It was like Twiddle Storm with 4 copies of the One Ring winning challenges. Or like Burn with 4 copies of the One Ring. Dimir Control with 4 copies of the One Ring. Jeskai Control. Yawgmoth with the One Ring. Just every single deck playing 4 copies of the One Ring, because you just can't beat it without playing your own. Are they gonna just crack their clue and flip Tameo here? Best games of Modern was where neither player found one. That's true. Yeah, we're gonna fight over this. No reason to Blood Moon. Another Imri. Why not Blood Moon? Because they got an island, and I'd rather get the Urza Saga tutor. Oh, is this just Temur Breach? Yeah, it's just Temur Breach, right? So if I just get Soul Guide Lantern here. Whatever. Oh, this is no ban list. Never mind. Yeah, this is absolutely no ban list. There are much more unfair things going on. I feel like there's a chance they might scoop to this. It depends on like what win conditions they have available. See if you've got a kill spell for the Emery. How would I feel about Days being printed in Modern? I wouldn't like hate having Days in Modern, but at the same time, I don't think Days is like adding anything to Modern. When your opponents are playing free spells and they don't have to tap mana for them, and then you Daze and they just pay one for your free spell, it's kind of lackluster. It'll help blue tempo decks. I kind of wonder if it would. Like, are we at a point where there's just so much free stuff that like the blue tempo decks can't keep up with free anyway? Because like if you got to pay for your spells, your opponent does something for free, they don't care about playing or paying the one. Try to just lower my curve a little bit. Days it only works during your opponent's turn. Just started playing Modern again, and Jesus, the format is, yeah, it's little wild at the moment. Roll with this. Am I gonna Tameo back, or would I rather just get a Goose Down or Astrolabe? I think I'm just gonna Astrolabe. Need to find lands. Not that land. Going 4-1, 4 leagues in a row with Jund tells me Modern is fine. I think usually arguments around Modern being fine kind of center, or they kind of start with Modern is fine because everybody's doing something broken. And it's kind of an unhealthy mindset. What am I doing here? I think I'm just Goose. If they want to like kill this in response, that's fine. Mox Opal. Edge Maze. Now, do I want second Goose or do I want Cameo? Emery's probably dead because I've got Grafdigger's Cage in hand. I'm just going to play second Goose. Coming back after playing Standard made me realize that the balance of the format is everyone doing broken things while fair decks die. I agree. I agree completely. That's kind of why I was saying, like, when people say modern is fair or modern is balanced, it usually just means like everybody is doing something that is so difficult to interact with that it's okay because everybody's doing it. I'm not going to let you Kaito in on me. And that's just kind of like a troublesome way of looking at the format, if is saying everybody's doing it, so it's fine. All right, can I pay for Metallic Rebuke? No. Can I pay for Metallic Rebuke now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still no. Math is tough. Come on. Rebuke this. Rebuke this because you don't think my last card's another Mox. Actually, no, you saw the other Mox, didn't you? Or did I draw it? I can't remember. Just fire off that Rebuke. You know you want to. There's no reason to cast the One Ring this turn because I can play it next turn and pay for Rebuke. I did draw it off Astrolabe. I'm like so sure that they have a Metallic Rebuke. And if I can resolve this One Ring, I kind of think I just win. Just pass it back. Sure. Now pass it back. We go Mox. Mox. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One Ring with Goose Goose Island to pay. Draw a card. Does Goose making food make it better than Halfling when you run Ring, Oko, and Emery? I think so, because the artifact off of the food is so important with like Urza's Saga, Mox Opal. All right. So let's go for Astrolabe. This flips Tamio. And maybe they just have nothing. Or they're just going for the Tamio ult. They could just be going for the Tamio ult. I don't even know if I have an answer for that. I guess we're going to find out. Is the answer for Tamio ult to ult my own Tamio? I guess I could maybe find an Oko and elk something into attacking. I guess that would require finding an Oko. All right. Totally how I expected this game to go. Seiju, my Grafdigger's Cage. All right, that kind of feels like GG. I don't know why you're fetching in response to this, but sure. Well, y'all would have been good a while ago. All right, so draw 22, flip new Tamio. Still have to kill me. Yep. Sure. Go crazy. I'm just going to try to fight over the Underworld Breach. Shouldn't matter. They should have a Metallic Rebuke or something by now to fight back, but Ponder. You think there's a better cantrip option than Ponder? I feel like there has to be. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't get probe first, but I'm F6. Go crazy. Should have plenty to just grape shot me Grinding Station, the Mox Opal, Grape Shot me again. Mox, okay. We'll just sit back under the guise of wanting to see the rest of their deck. Looks like they're going to try to one-shot. Come on. Right, so not going to show me any more stuff. I think I'll leave the other Oko in. Tamio on the play. Probably bring in the third force. Trim a goose. Trim a spell bomb. I don't want to go too crazy on trimming geese. One ring. Okay. I cannot make saga constructs on 2, right? We go saga. Oh no, I can because I can go saga, opal, bauble, haywire might. I think that's pretty big for being able to get the clock going. So if they go like haywire might on their turn, I can make a construct. Go ahead and fetch now. So I don't get got by like a green spell. Memory Lurker of the Lock. Just get Graft Digger's Cage because that shuts off Emery. Mox doesn't really. New Mox doesn't do anything. Can't cast Force, so we'll just pass back. I guess it would have let me hold up Haywire Might. I should have played the Mox, because if they played like Urza's Saga, I could respond to the Urza Saga trigger by Haywire Mighting the Saga and stop them from playing like an Oko. Could have moped a Bluff Rebuke. We could have. I'm usually not a huge fan of bluffing unless it's like absolutely necessary. So, for example, right here, my opponent's back is like so against the wall already that bluffing doesn't get a lot of value, because if they have something, they have to cast it or they die. So usually I'm not a huge fan of bluffing in spots like that. But the Urza Saga line could have been a very real thing. So it makes sense to play around that. Also, I thought about it during that game. Why do we not have a pithing needle in here? Doomwake. All right. What kind of nonsense is Doomwake on? This is a really slow hand on the draw. Eldrazi. Okay. Sure. We'll go ahead and play these out just in case of a Chalice on 0. Mimic. Saga. Might just be like Metallic Rebuke this turn and try to Oko next turn. Have you seen any cards that you're like, yeah, this can be unbanned? Easy unban. I've seen a lot of cards that like I would have thought would have done more and just haven't. So so for example, we played against Countertop earlier and it just did nothing. Like, card didn't matter in the slightest. So you could make an argument that like Countertop safe to, or Counterbalance is like safe-ish. But my biggest concern would be that a lot of the cards that are safe to unban are just never going to see play in no ban list modern. Because they're just not even good enough to like compete in this format. They're okay cards, just slow. If they have a Cavern of Souls, this hand sucks. If they don't have a Cavern of Souls, okay. Yeah, I guess when I said counterbalance, I mean like the deck as a whole. Like the top counterbalance, Mystic Sanctuary kind of package didn't really do anything. No. I can't consign your line breaker, but I can consign your line breaker trigger. We're going to get just absolutely steamrolled here. Second line breaker. Okay, I got to make sure that I don't do anything that lets them see that. So, for example, if they go to cast like a Thought Knot Seer, I need to concede before Thought Knot resolves. This is just dead, right? Yeah. But I do find it really funny when there's a game like that where it's just, oh, all of this is completely legal in Modern anyway. Like, you can do all of this. Ooh. This is such a fair start. Like turn one Goose, turn two Tamio Emery, and I have to find something to do. I'm gonna keep it. This one's definitely a very big question mark hand. But I kind of want to see how it does. I get like a lot of mana acceleration. Maybe some digging with Emery. I just need to find a payoff. Like a Blood Moon or an Oko off the top could just like be I win. Like flip Tamio next turn. Spectre Flute. Okay. Naming Emery. Thought not. Yep. All right, this is where we need a Blood Moon off the top. I get to flip Tameo. That's something. Flip Tameo plus have Metallic Rebuke. Emery under a bus. All right, letting me untap here is super nice of them. Kozilek's command for 1 million. See what's on top of the library. Wait, I milled my Surveil. I did. And the line breaker. No. All right, Tameo's dead AF. Yeah. Needed a Blood Moon. No Blood Moon, no shot. Just a Devourer. Worse than a Devourer. It's going to be a Blood Moon off the top. Knew it. All right. We'll cast it out and concede. Just to show that it was in the deck. Ow! Oh, that league was going so well, too. Legal Modern deck beats the Oko Astrolabe deck. It does. So, like, they Simian Spirit Guided on 1 to play a Chalice on 1, game 1, and it just did nothing. And then the rest of the games, we just lost a Cavern of Souls and Line Breaker. And I don't think there's anything we can really do about that. Like, we played 4 Consign, we played 3 Blood Moon. We could go up to the 4th Blood Moon, I guess. After that, I really don't know. Is there any merit to playing like Damping Sphere in the sideboard? Does that do anything?